Welcome to Metal Dice, a podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal and live music. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with the other host,
Karen.
We'll see how long this episode is. It might be a little bit.
Or two parts.
Or two parts. And why is that, Karen?
We're going to talk about Milwaukee Metal Fest 2024.
Yeah, we returned. We went last year for sort of the rebirth of it.
Rebirth, yeah.
Jamie Josta bought the rights to it and put it on last year, and they brought it back again this year. Thank God it was fucking awesome again this year.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead to the end, it was fucking insanely awesome. So, and so was last year, and I'm glad they brought it back. It was at the rave. Fucking just incredible. So much fun.
I almost said the rave in Milwaukee, but it's Milwaukee Metal Fest, so it makes sense.
I guess that's true. Like, we could be the rave somewhere else. When I just say the rave, I assume people know, like, this is a great venue. How do you not fucking know about this type
Well,
thing?
we didn't know about it for
We didn't.
a long time.
Right.
So,
Any case, this year, the headliners were Blind Guardian on Friday, Mr. Bungle on Saturday, and Slaughter to Prevail on Sunday.
yes.
With amazing acts supporting leading up to this all night. And we'll go through that and we'll talk about all that. But before we even dive that far in, ticket prices like we always do. I didn't take good notes around ticket prices, so I don't know. So our ticket stub says VIP. And I think that got us into the balcony, but not the seats, just to get up to the balcony in the ballroom and walk around. And there's a few boxes that are open for normal VIP, but it wasn't sort of like that ultimate where you got an assigned seat and a better view of the stage.
Yeah, because I think, like, as you go around, the prices get, like, more expensive.
Yeah.
So.
But they have upgrade packages as well, and I don't think those upgrade packages got you access to the balcony, so I think it was part of our ticket. So we got, I think, like I said, I didn't take good notes, so I think we got the VIP, basic VIP balcony tickets, which were $336 for the ticket, $74.59 in fees, and $31.45 per ticket in tax. And we had physical tickets too, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
For this. Last year, they sent a ticket per day. This year, it was a single ticket that got you into all 3 days.
Yeah. That was kind of shitty cool. Last year. I don't know. I don't know which one's worse, because the ticket per day, we had to make sure we grabbed the right day's ticket each morning, but also one ticket for the whole weekend. We had to make sure that we didn't lose our ticket each day. Yeah,
so they were selling single day tickets as well. So maybe last year just like throw in 3 single day tickets and throw those out. Maybe. So it's easier and whatnot. Just grab from this pile whatever you're filling and go. This year when we were going through sort of the confusion around our VIP package and the upgrade package and all of that, talking to the people at the ticket booths, they did say you need to bring your ticket stub every day to get in, because they'll scan that to get you in. But if you lose it, come back to us and we'll print you a new one.
Oh, okay.
So they probably just like discontinue that old barcode, give you a new barcode, and you're good to go. We didn't end up going down. We probably could have gone down at the end of the night and been like, could we get a fresh ticket that's not all dented up and whatnot? But I like it. It adds like character to it and whatnot.
It's no big deal. It's a lot of responsibility.
It is, which is why I kept your tickets.
Yes, exactly.
But as I said, we did get the upgrade packages. We're not going to talk too much about those. We got upgrade package 1 and upgrade package 3. I think we're going to do a 666 on these. We did one last year for the sort of the package that we got, and talked about the merch that came in that, and talked about if we thought it was worth it or not. We'll do that for these as well here shortly or whenever, but we'll talk more about there and whatnot. But we'll probably talk a little bit about the fiasco here as we go through it.
Sure.
But whatever. 3-day festival, but your 3-day festival got you entry into the pre-party on Thursday night.
If you bought a 3-day pass.
If you bought a 3-day pass, right.
Yeah.
And last year we were gonna go do that, but we drove up and
it was Memorial Day
traffic
weekend.
was fucking insane.
Yeah. I think it took us 2.5 hours.
Right, but that was like a Thursday. No, that's Thursday. People are taking Friday off.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay.
But it took us an hour and 45 minutes to go like 8 miles.
Out of the Chicago downtown area, which was fucking ridiculous. By the time we got there, it was like 7:38, and I was like, I'm beat. I just want to eat food and then crash and go in fresh tomorrow.
Yeah. But we got to go this year to the pre-party.
We did, because we took the train up the night before because we went to go see Mudvayne, right?
Yeah, we went to see Mudvayne, so we had a show at the rave the night before Milwaukee Metal Fest even started. So, and we didn't mention this with Mudvayne, but I was kind of excited to get into the venue for Mudvayne and kind of walk around and see what we could see, if they had anything set up. And all they had set up was one, the banner for Milwaukee Metal Fest.
They did have the banner set up. They had some merch booths downstairs.
Oh, right. That was all
aside.
Yeah.
And the second stage was kind of blocked off where you couldn't see what was going on. They had a giant walls.
Oh, that's normal though.
Is it normal down there?
Yeah, we've been at other shows where it's
I thought it was just like the
off.
guardrail where you couldn't go through. This had like the actual, you can't even look through.
No, because when we saw was it Memphis Bayfire and Atreyu, when that was in the basement, and the
Horticulture was at the bar.
Yeah, and the second stage, we used those bathrooms, we walked back there, and it had the
I don't remember that much. Okay. Yeah. And the bar stage was locked down as well. You couldn't go out there and wander.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this was in the ballroom. Other than that, yeah, you're right. There's not a whole lot, which was kind of, I guess, anticipated a little bit. Maybe they come in Thursday during the day and all through the night with the pre-party, setting shit up and whatnot. But Jamie Josta did get a shout out from Mudvayne, I think it was. Or was it POD or something?
Yeah, I can't remember which band.
But one of them did a shout out to him, and I thought about doing a Josta count of how many people shout out Jamie Josta.
Oh, yeah.
Because last year it happened every now and then, and that's where I found out that he bought it. I didn't know anything about that until after the show, I think. But everybody was like, shout out to Jamie Josta from Hatebreed for bringing this back and whatnot, and I thought about doing an account all weekend, and I kind of stopped, but I was like, oh shit, we're not even at Milwaukee Metal Fest, and he's still getting a shout out for bringing it back. But also for Mudvayne, they gave us the same no moshing that we got the last time we were at the rave for Elstorm. Forgot to bring it up there, but they were also handing it out the next day at Milwaukee Metal Fest on the day one, and you just saw them ripped up on the ground.
Or you saw people with their sweaty forehead. I saw a lot of people with sweaty foreheads.
And they, really?
Did this and then were in the mosh pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that.
I don't have a sweaty forehead, but yeah. So they had them just or they would people. I saw people holding it up and taking a photo or a video of no moshing with the mosh pit happening.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit happening with those.
Oh, that's funny. It's got to be a liability thing.
It is. It totally is. I'm sure. Because even on their website, they say no moshing. It's under the frequently asked questions, why no moshing, and it's just to cover their ass.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you get hurt, it's your own fault.
I did hear people we can't mosh, and somebody else was like, you can mosh, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah. I heard that a couple times too. Even I heard one of the bands be like, no moshing, they don't like it, and it's
was that municipal waste?
No,
it wasn't. Okay,
no. It was in the bar stage, and I'm just everybody's been fucking moshing all day. So maybe they tell the bands don't encourage it, but then they do anyways. Yeah. So I don't know.
We're going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but let's get back on track a little bit and talk about the preview party. Like you said, we went here this year for the first time, not quite sure knowing what to expect. There was a little bit of confusion around this from our standpoint.
A lot of confusion. Because
we got an email saying that VIP meet and greet check-in at 4:45. Mm-hmm. Now, meet and greet was sort of an add-on you could add. We had VIP. VIP meet and greet's not really a thing, so is this supposed to be a comma in this, or is it VIP and meet and greet check-in type thing? So we just showed up and figured, whatever, we'll show up.
Well, no. Also, we had to be there because we bought a backstage tour.
There was that as well.
It's supposed to be at 5 p.m.
Yeah, we bought the backstage tour for 5 p.m. as well, so we figured we'll just check in as well, because that wasn't mentioned in that email.
No, but so the 4:45 made sense. It's oh, well, yeah, we have to be there before 5 o'clock.
But I think it was a few hours before, even on that Thursday, that we got an email from whoever was doing the merch for the backstage tour saying the backstage tour will be at 6 in the subject line, but then in the body 6:15.
Right.
So that was really confusing too, but whatever, we'll check it out. You go to get your VIP merch, you get your name checked off. Our name wasn't on there because I think it was for the Ultimate VIP only.
For Ultimate VIP, but it didn't say Ultimate VIP.
Right.
And also, why are we getting an email if we don't have the package that's supposed to be there.
Right, yeah.
Anyways.
So some confusion there and whatnot. Eventually, whatever, we make our way back upstairs, or we finally can go up and like scan our ticket to go out. And they weren't letting anybody outside of the
Ultimate VIP and the meet and greets.
Well, no, they weren't letting anybody. Yeah. They were only letting them into the venue. Everybody else was out in like sort of the parking lot where the food court thing is.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about the setup much this year, but the setup was exactly the same as last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You go in through that side door, which takes you down to the basement stage.
Basement stage, yes. But the basement stage is the merch area.
The merch area, right?
It has the festival merch plus a whole bunch of merchants that come in and sell things.
Yep. Then you make your way up to the box office area where they have it sort of roped off. The box office side is sort of, you haven't scanned your ticket yet. Once you do that, you go through double doors and you're outside into like the parking lot area, which has turned into this like food court little seating area.
They're actually advertising it now because it's the beer garden, they call it now, and it's not a parking lot. They have like new stone and everything down in there.
Yeah, and they had that for Mudvayne too. I think they're doing that for every show now, making that like the beer garden. Yeah, as you said. They didn't have much food They didn't have much food options on the preview night, just like one food truck.
Yeah, it was like a barbecue truck or something. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Did they have the taco truck too?
No, the taco truck was on the Mudvayne night, but then there were taco trucks just on the street. Nothing to do with Milwaukee Metal Fest, but they were just on the street knowing that people are going to be coming. So.
Yep. But as the festival went on, the next day there was a lot more food trucks, even more than last year. Not a whole lot more, but still more.
Yeah, they extended it though, because they extended the parking area. So.
Yep. But then once you sort of enter the other doors next to where you came out into this food court area, beer garden. It's a beer garden.
Yeah.
Out into the beer garden, there's the other double doors that then take you in on the other side of that roped off area, where you can go over to the bar stage. If it was open on preview night, it wasn't. Make your way straight back to the second stage, or on your left as you're walking in, there's going to be that big bar area there. I think it's the like craft beer lounge or something.
Yeah, has like TVs and stuff, like a sports bar. Yeah.
And then you make your way upstairs to like the main area, then back up to the ballroom area. So the exact same, almost identical setup outside of the expanded beer garden area. Essentially the exact same setup for this year.
It works perfectly, I think.
I do too. I love this setup so much.
Yeah. But on the preview night, we did get told that we needed to sit in the beer garden.
So we sat there for a little bit, then they finally opened it up and we went in, found the table we needed to go to do our backstage tour, and they ended up coming out and getting us around 6:45 or so.
Maybe, yeah. Nobody knew what was going on.
No, they did not.
So,
we'll talk more about that, I think, also in a 666.
Yeah, we'll talk about the backstage tour during a 666 and not take up, because maybe it'll be like an encore.
Maybe, yeah.
Because the 666 isn't long enough, I don't think.
It might not be. All right, maybe we'll do an encore for that one.
Yeah.
But we were talking to a guy in line because he's in the Milwaukee area, I think like an hour away or something. And he came up for the holiday tour thing that we did too, the walking tour that you do by yourself. Not guided, you just sort of wander around yourself and you can look at shit, take photos, do whatever you want. And we were talking like, yeah, we did that too. It seemed fucking awesome. And this one, what were the tickets? I can't remember.
I have no clue.
We'll talk about that during the encore.
Yeah.
Or whatever we're doing for it. But he's like, yeah, I already did it once. I don't know if I need to do it again. And like, I mean, you're kind of right. We don't know what we're going to get with this. They said you get one band member or more possibly that go on this tour with you. But we got Steve from Exodus, the lead singer, Zetro, as he goes by.
Yep.
But that was fucking awesome. We'll talk about that. That was a blast.
It was fun because we didn't really know what to expect, but it was a fun thing to do, except for since we signed up for the 5 o'clock, and we signed up for the 5 o'clock so that we could see the whole preview night, and that because it was at 6:45, we missed the entire first band.
So, and they were offering this throughout the weekend as well.
Yeah.
And the meet and greets as well. And one of the guys we were talking to, I don't know if it was this day or another time. I can't remember. We talked to a lot of people, and I can't remember when it's all melding together.
Sure.
But they were saying that they bought a meet and greet, and then that band backed out of the meet and greet, and they couldn't do it. And then they're like, but we'll give you like one or two other meet and greets free.
Yeah, 2 other meet and greets.
For this one that you didn't get to do. And they're like, well, the only ones I want to do are during other sets I want to see, which is the exact reason why we did this walking tour, so we can see all the music on the preview night. So we did miss the first band on the preview night, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which was H1Z1?
Yeah.
But yeah, when we got done with the walking tour, I think we were in the middle of the second band, honestly.
Yeah, Toxic Ruin.
Toxic Ruin, right. So kind of whatever. We missed the first band, which is a local band to Milwaukee, it sounds like.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, I know.
I think they're in the area all the time playing, so maybe we can try to go up there and see like a bar show or something.
Yeah, we'll try to find them again.
Or a bigger show. I just say bar show because I like the bar shows a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing like tours or not, so it probably would be like at a bar type venue.
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, so.
But Toxic Ruin was awesome. I remember seeing them a bit and like, holy shit, this is fucking fun.
Yeah, I think we caught the tail end of their set, if I remember right.
Yeah, they're about.
Yeah.
We may have gone out then to get some food and came back in for Josta and Friends, which was the headliner.
Yeah. Between Toxic Ruin and Josta, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Because I honestly don't know how long that walking tour is supposed to be, but we probably an hour or more.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, don't want to get too much into it.
No, we won't.
Yeah. But this one was a bit different where we got, it was a guided tour, not just we did it by ourselves, which we were unsure what we were getting. If like the band member was supposed to be our guide, but no, we got an official representative from the rave walking us around.
We'll talk about it on the encore, but you were like, I don't know, are we going to get a band member who's just like, well, here's the stage, here's this, like that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Which
would have been really cool too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, we were told to come here and do this thing, so here we are. Whatever. We'll talk about that. That was a blast.
Yeah, we'll pass that.
Toxic Ruin, the little bit I remember again, because now it's all blending.
It is all blurring together. Yeah. Even when we recorded Mudvayne, it was hard to remember like what happened, because 5 days at the rave was fucking awesome, but it's hard to remember everything.
Yep. But yeah, then Josta and Friends came out doing Josta's own shit that he does.
Yeah.
I liked the little joke he did where his new album, I guess, is Josta for All, I think is what it's going to call.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah.
Which is the Injustice for All cover, but him on the front of it. And he's like, up at the front, he's like, we haven't got an NDA or sued for this shitty ass art that we used, or something along those lines.
Yeah, something about not being sued, yeah.
Which just made me laugh and smile. And then a bunch of guest singers coming out. That's where Steve came out and played a couple songs, Exodus covers and whatnot.
Yep.
And then Blitz came out from Overkill.
Yep. And played some songs. Danny, the DJ, came out for a song. And who else came out?
I can't remember who all came out, but we'll throw like a little image up here and show like who was there and whatnot. But a lot of fun, a lot of cool seeing everybody just come out and have fun. I remember looking at Jamie on stage singing and just like always grinning ear to ear, just so fucking happy to be up there.
Well, it was also their album release party. Because their album was released on Friday. So.
Yeah, it was like both, like a pre-party and a release party all in one.
Yeah, and just happy that Milwaukee Metal Fest was able to go again.
Yep.
Everybody, every single person there and almost all the bands all weekend were like, this couldn't happen without metal fans coming.
Yep.
So that was really cool. I mean, you could really tell from Josta that he appreciates all the fans coming as well, because I mean,
you can't do it without the fans, right? Yeah.
Without people coming, you can't really do it. So
yeah. Made our way down to the hotel, got some food down there.
Well, the DJ happened, but everybody, I think there was like only 7 people left in the room.
Yeah, no, I think it was supposed to go till like 11 or 11:30 or so. It was supposed to go pretty late.
He started at 11:30.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so I don't know how long it was supposed to go, but
I thought it was earlier than that, like 10:30. But okay.
Oh, maybe 10:30 to 11:30.
Maybe, I can't remember.
Okay.
But you're right. Everybody did clear out.
Yeah,
like, we stuck around for a couple tracks, and we're like, no, we're gonna go.
Well, yeah, because you were like, well, maybe everybody just went outside because it was fucking hot. Like that stage was really fucking hot all weekend. But you were just like, maybe everybody just went outside, and then we went outside, and nobody was there. So
yeah, this was the second stage, and that stage was hot all weekend.
Yeah, there was like no airflow there. So I feel like last year they always had the doors open, and this year the doors were always closed. Not that that helps.
What doors?
In the hallway.
I felt like they were always open too, because it felt like they were. It was overflowing. Like that stage was always packed. I think that helped with the heat.
Almost every single time I saw it, the doors were closed.
Oh, every time I saw it, the doors were open with people standing in it.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, that was the end of the preview night.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I wish we would have saw last year as well.
Yeah. The confusion around the packages and getting in and all of that. Whatever. We were still there. We enjoyed the music. Yeah. The music was awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't let that dampen our evening or ruin our evening at all. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm glad we went this year, and hopefully next year they do it again.
Yeah, I hope that they do a preview party again. Hopefully they don't ever make it like ticketed.
Yeah, so another confusion little bit about this was the buying of the tickets. They had the preview party, but it was Ultimate VIP only, I think, got it initially. And then it was a little bit later of you could buy a preview party ticket, and I couldn't find where to buy the preview party ticket. It's like, fuck it, we just won't go. And then it was later on where it's like, if you bought a 3-day ticket, you got entry into the...
Oh, okay. I didn't know all that.
So it was sort of like, as it moved on month by month, you got a new update about what you could and couldn't do and what packages there were. Because we bought ours like the day they went on sale. Yeah. Like, fuck it, we know we're going. Who gives a shit who's going to be there? We're going to be there. So that was a little confusing because I wanted to go to the preview party, but I couldn't figure out how to buy a ticket to it. And the package we bought didn't say anything about it. Only like the Ultimate VIP did. But yeah, I hope they don't go to a ticketed, or if they do a ticketed, it's free for the people who get the 3-day package.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, enough with the preview party. Let's get to day one.
Day one.
Blind Guardians Day on Friday, May the 17th. It
was the Power Metal Day.
There was a band, I can't remember what band it was, but they're like, today is definitely the Power Metal Day.
There was so many Power Metal bands. That was Legion, what is it? Legends of Tyrant?
Yeah, I think that's it.
We're not going to go through every single band. Lords of the Tyrant, sorry for misremembering the band. But yeah, they were like, oh, today's definitely the Power Metal Day. And I remember that, like, looking at the schedule. This year I did it. Last year I feel like I looked at the schedule so much and I was like planning out what we wanted to do and everything. This year I was just kind of like, we're going to show up. Yeah. Sort of thing. So, but I remember like looking at all the bands and being like, oh shit, there's a lot of power metal today.
And yes, there was a lot of power metal, but there was so much diversity as well on the other stages. Like it felt like there was a power metal act almost at any given time, but you can go to the stage next to you and there's death metal or something like that, which is super fucking cool that it wasn't just power metal, that there was an alternative for the people who are like, this isn't really for me. I'm going to go check this out. But I did notice that too, that like so many power metal bands, but yet great diversity within the music as well.
A little bit of diversity.
I don't know. I think there was a good amount. Like you had Overkill this day as well. So you get your thrash, then you get Uda with your death metal. But yeah, like you said, we're not going to talk about every band because there's a fuck ton of bands each day.
Do you want to talk about the bands that we did see though?
Yeah, we'll talk about the bands we did see. Okay. We'll throw an image up of the entire day set list. I think we did that last year.
Oh yeah, or something. Yeah, like the times or whatever.
But we'll just hit on the ones that we actually saw.
I think the screenshot of the times is a little bit different that we have though than what actually happened. But not that the times matter. The bands are all there.
I was gonna do like this.
Oh, so not the times, the announcement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
That's why I was clarifying.
Gotcha. So I think we both took notes down on like each band we saw.
We did, but you took more notes. So I just had the band name, and then.
So the first band, who did we get for the first band?
So the first band we saw was Engineered Society Project, and they were on the bar stage.
Yep, that's what I had.
Uda on the second stage. Lords of Trident on the ballroom stage. Bewitcher on the second stage. Night Demon, were they on the bar stage?
I had them on the main stage.
Main stage, okay. I didn't take any of those notes, so I literally just put the name. Illusions of Fate, and they were bar stage or second stage?
Bar stage.
Okay. Profantica on the second stage. No, main stage.
Nope, second stage.
Second stage, okay. I'm going to stop saying bar stage. Eternal Champion, they were the main stage, I remember that.
Yep.
Overkill on the main stage. Hammerfall.
On the second stage.
Doro on the second stage. Camelot.
Main stage.
Autopsy.
second stage.
And we saw part of Blind Guardian.
Yeah, and I was taking notes of like partial sets and full sets, mainly just for us, because I mean it's hard to see a full set with the way this is set up.
Yeah, because there's overlapping times.
And then the time to get up and down from the venues, depending on where you're going, which we've talked about that in the past as well with festivals, if we enjoy that sort of setup or not. And I'm torn. I like to see an entire set. I'd love it if I had that opportunity to see an entire set. If I go to see your set and I want to stay, I'll stay for all of it. And then if I want to leave, I can go check out something else. But having a set start when another one's already going is really sort of like, fuck. I'm torn what I want to do.
If you don't like the set, then you can't go see someone else if there's nothing playing.
Or unless it starts like 5 minutes later, right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is you have that little bit of gap between them. But at the same time, the way the rave is set up with all these stages so close together, it's basically nonstop music from the beginning to the end. There's always something playing somewhere.
Yeah.
And that is actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can always have music going. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like we could see a lot more bands if we only did stay for like 2 songs of each band.
Oh, definitely.
But we like to stay. If we enjoy it, we stay.
Yeah.
For a lot longer. So.
Doro was one where we stayed for like 2 or 3 songs. We're like, all right, we're kind of done with this. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I was a little bit more into it than you were. But even I was like, all right, I'm kind of.
I think we might have been the minority there because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, holy shit, Doro. Like, I can't wait to see Doro, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay.
But then there's other sets like Uda we showed up into late.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy fuck, I wish I was here for the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, because we saw social and engineering project. Engineered project. Sorry, I think I keep saying it wrong.
Engineered Society Project.
Engineered Society Project. Yeah, that one.
You told me social engineering project, so that's what I wrote down in my notes. So when I'm trying to add them to the playlist today, it was so fucking hard trying to find them. I probably
fucked that up in my notes, so then I fucked it up in your notes. So,
yeah.
Sorry about that. So I probably fucked it up.
Society Project.
So I fucked that up here too.
Yeah.
What we saw. So.
But they were there last year, and you brought that up, and I completely forgot that they were there last year until they start playing. I was like, oh shit, I remember these guys.
Then you remember them, and they were on the bar stage last year as well. So.
Yep, and they opened the bar stage, they opened the festival, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them a lot. I did. I want to see them again. I'll say that about all the bands. I don't need to say about all the bands. All the bands were fucking awesome. I want to see all these bands again. I don't think there was a single set where I was like, holy shit, this is garbage. Like, I was like, this is awesome. This is, all in all, it might not be my favorite type of music or the thing I'm really into at this moment, but it's something that I would definitely see again.
Right. Yeah. I would agree because we did not see Macabre, so I was absolutely fine.
I think that was your only one last year where you're like, I don't Macabre.
Need to see this. I don't need to see this again. There are a couple that I'm mad that, not mad, but disappointed that we missed, but like Nun Slaughter.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that. Uda, agreed. I wanted to, seeing their whole set would have been really fucking awesome. I don't know, maybe that was the only thing. Oh, Incantation. I would have liked to see them as well, but we didn't.
It wasn't until day 2 when we were sort of walking around when we first got there, and I was like, you said like, oh, we missed Nun Slaughter. I was like, they're today, aren't they? And you're like, no, they were yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. No, I really wanted to see them.
Yeah, but that was the hard thing about it. So by the time we got to Sunday, we actually made reminders for our calendar for when the band was going to go on, because it did kind of get to the point where like I was tired of pulling out my phone, checking the times. We were missing things, or we were missing bands that we wanted to see or that we had talked about seeing prior to going and stuff like that. So we did do that for Sunday, but
that was actually a really good idea. So like
next year
we've never done that before, but we have a shared calendar where we put all of our concerts on, so we can just pull that calendar up and like look, say, like, do we have anything coming up this week type thing. But on this day where there's certain times you want to hit, just throw that on the thing, and your watch will remind you, your phone will buzz and whatnot. You can like, oh shit, I have 5 minutes to get to stage XYZ. Yeah.
Next year we'll probably do that a lot more, just so we can kind of remember if we're enjoying a band and we don't want to leave, it's like, okay, well, I'll go later or whatever.
Yeah, and I think we'll do that at every festival we go to from now on. Is just like find the ones you definitely want to hit, or unless, of course, like you said, you're enjoying a set that you're at.
But then like, oh, let me stop by there after this is over, sort of thing. So
yep. touching on some highlights for me, we mentioned at Uda, they were the second band we went into toward the end. I've said this before in other episodes and other shows we've gone to. I fucking hate the backlight into the crowd. It blinds me. I can't fucking see what's going on stage. I'm here to listen to the music, but also to see the performance. And if I can't fucking see the performance, you're blinding me in the fucking eyes with these lights. Fuck you. This is stupid. This is bullshit. Fuck it. Uda is the first fucking band who's ever done this right that I've been to, that show that we've seen, where they have that backlight into the crowd, but it's down and up. So it's behind them, and all you see is the silhouette, and there's all the smoke machines going on.
Yep. Yeah.
And I know that's what the other people are doing. They're trying to get like just the silhouette, and it looks really, really cool when done right, like Uda does. You never fucking see them. It's just this black figure up there moving and playing. It fits the music so well. Fucking shit, that was a fucking amazing performance. I like the imagery, the music, it all fit together so well. And they're the first band that I've ever seen that did that backlight right.
Very well, yeah. Yeah.
And they're the second fucking band of the day.
Yeah, wonder why they were so low on the bill.
Well, not even that. Just like how are bigger bands, like Corey Taylor does that backlighting, In Flames does that backlighting.
Oh, you're saying like how are they not doing it correctly?
Right. How are these bands that are paying so much more fucking money getting it wrong, and there's this little tiny ass band running around like, oh, we figured it out long ago. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's one of my big pet peeves is that fucking backlight. Like, just fuck that. But Uda fucking hit it out of the park with just that imagery itself. But then they had the music to back it up that went along with it so well. Oh, I fucking loved Uda so much. I want to see them again so bad.
I do too. Yeah, I can't wait to see them on a set somewhere.
And then it was from that point on that it was mainly power metal.
So like 3:00 on.
Yeah. There were some other aspects like Overkill. We saw their set.
Yeah. Overkill, I was a little disappointed that because I think on the preview night, Blitz sang 3 songs or 2 songs.
I think 3
songs, but like there was overlap, and I get it. Like not everybody was at the preview night, but I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, if you're gonna sing, like, don't sing the same set, sort of thing.
I remember you bringing that up, and I've been thinking a lot about it since then, and I was gonna say the same thing. Like, not everybody was there for that preview night, which that's true. But also, it's kind of a it's got to be a great honor and something that the people playing, because it wasn't Overkill playing, it was Josta's band playing. So like for them to say like, holy fuck, I gotta play Overkill with Blitz.
I get that.
Like I think it's more for them than it is for anybody else. Like, holy shit, I got the opportunity to do this, which cool, that's fun. But I also agree that other things would have been nice to hear.
Yeah, that was my only. Not that I get where you're coming from, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, just you have such a large catalog, like just choose 3 other songs, sort of thing.
For the preview night or something like that.
Yeah.
Other things that jumped out for you, other bands?
Not on Friday. No, Friday was...
Hammerfall was fun.
I think power metal is fun to see. Just by the end of Friday, I was done seeing it.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that too, right? Where we've been to power metal shows before, and it's fun. Like, the crowds are fun. It's the genre of power metal I really, really like, because it's not this sort of, I have to act tough, I have to like dress a certain way or be at least this is how I feel when I go to power metal shows. It's like, we're here to play music and have fun. Who gives a shit who you are, what you look like, what you're dressed like? Like, you don't have to be in jeans and a t-shirt or trip pants or in like ghost paint or whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
and it's a different crowd normally.
Paint, not ghost paint, sorry.
It's like a different crowd normally as well. Because like you get the people who aren't into death metal and like all that stuff.
And that's kind of what I was trying to say, is like there's not sort of a look or like you have to fit into this niche. It's we're just here to have fucking fun. And I love it. I want it, like, I'm here to have fun too. But I can do that in a small dose in terms of music and like live shows. 3 to 4 bands at like one concert, I'm fine with that. After you get to like the 5th or 6th, like we were, by that time we get to the big hitters, Camelot and Blind Guardian. And it's like, I would have enjoyed these sets a lot more if there wasn't so much power metal throughout the day.
Yeah.
If this was sprinkled through all weekend, that's a different story. Maybe then you get people to stay.
Stay longer.
Yeah.
Or, come to all 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree. By the end, we didn't even stay for all of Blind Guardian. We're like,
no.
All right, we heard a few songs. We had to walk back to the hotel. Let's go get some food. And
we stayed for probably half of it. Because I think they got like an hour set. We probably stayed for like 30 or 40 minutes of it. So
yeah,
it's not like we only stayed for 2 songs and we're like, okay, peace, bye.
Yeah,
sort of thing. So,
but yeah, like everything we saw was fucking awesome. Hammerfall, like we said, Illusion of Fate, and Uda were like my big hitters of the day for me. The ones that I was like, holy shit, these are awesome.
I don't remember Illusion of Fate's set. Like, do you remember something specific that will remind me?
I don't. I noted in my little book with a little tick, like, I love this. Okay. Like, this was awesome.
I thought
no, it's fine. Like, it all blends together. Like, I was struggling. I struggled to remember this stuff until I started looking at photos and was like, oh shit, that's who this is. I was
like, I should have went through and looked at all my videos or something to like remember the bands. But
yeah,
what stage were they on? The main stage?
They were the bar stage. But yeah, day 1 was done. Head back to the hotel and sat in the bar, got some dinner ahead of time, and so many fucking bands were down there just hanging out in the bar, like catching up with each other, hugging each other.
Yeah, because everybody was kind of getting there, or like Blitz from Overkill was sitting at a table behind us and like stuff like that. So like it seemed like all the bands were kind of getting there for the weekend, so it was kind of fun to see.
We eventually got our upgrade package that day as well.
Oh, right.
We'll talk more about that during that 666 or Encore, whatever the fuck that turns out to be. But we got that package. We went back, took a look at it in our room. We got one of this year's lanyards and not 2. And we talked to people that day before leaving about it. And they said basically come back the next morning.
Yeah. The first person you talked to was like, oh no, like this is what you're supposed to have. And it's like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then, I went down and talked to somebody else. I think that was during Symphony X. So I'm like, why did we miss that? But I think that's why, because I was down there.
Yeah.
Or Camelot. I can't remember. No, it was Symphony X.
Yeah.
And they basically were like, oh, we had to contact somebody else. They did, but obviously everybody's fucking busy. So I just went back the next day, like early before anybody got there. So
all in all, great day 1. Even though we got a little done with the power metal by the end of it, but still a great fucking fantastic day. Leading up to day 2, Mr. Bungle's day. We'll throw up all the bands that were there. Before going to it, we were sort of wandering around the hotel trying to find the new Live Nation venue, I think. And then we ended up walking up this time around.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right.
And by the time we got there, we weren't drenched in sweat, but we were definitely hot. And yeah, it was...
Because it was like 84 that day?
At that point in time, it's still like noon, right? Or just before noon or something like that.
Just before noon,
So it's going to be a hot day for sure. The hottest of all 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that. The preview night, we got in just before it downpoured. And when we got out from like getting our things scanned and whatnot and out into like the beer garden, it was already like puddles all over the place because it downpoured out there so much. Anywho, back to day 2, Saturday, May the 18th. So we'll throw all the other bands up there that were playing that day. But we only got 14. We got 14 the first day, 14 the second day. Not bad, honestly. 14 bands.
There's a couple bands that I'm kind of not upset that we missed, but
you wish you would have seen them.
I wish I would have seen at least part of their set. But
who did we see?
Morbicon, Internal Bleeding, Devourment, The Red Chord, Skinless, Death Ray Vision, Terrorizer, Death to All, Cloak, Municipal Waste, Hatebreed, Ross the Boss, Testament, and Mr. Bungle.
Any big standouts right away for you on that list?
If I remember right, Morbicon was really fucking awesome.
Morbicon was really good. I like them a lot too.
Yeah. Internal Bleeding was really good, like just really fast death metal. And then I think it goes all the way up to Municipal Waste before I was like, holy fuck, like I'm having a lot of fun. I don't remember. Like the Red Chord we saw at Decibel this past year, they kind of like, I guess, stopped touring and now they're like doing a few things. So I think they're pretty popular.
We stopped in for a couple tracks this time around, but yeah, we did see them at Decibel last year. So it was like, we just saw this. Let's go find something new and different.
Yeah. And I remember you saying something like when we were recording in the hotel room before going, you were like, you were excited to see Red Chord, or you like Red Chord a lot or whatever. I think I remember from Decibel that it was more, we had just seen a couple bands at Decibel that I didn't really care for. And then the Red Chord went on. I'm like, okay, finally fucking
getting you back into it.
Yes, like this is much better, gotcha. Like sort of thing.
Okay.
So not that I don't like the music, because I've even listened to it a few times, like on our playlist and stuff. But I think it was the same way where I'm like, we just saw them a few months ago. Like, let's go find something else. So.
Oh yeah, and that's when we went up to Skinless and saw the last couple tracks there. And while we were up walking to go get a spot at Skinless, somebody stopped us, and I was like, I was on the floor and I heard like somebody yell at me or something, and they're like, "Hey, come back, come back." And I looked behind and I didn't see you anywhere. It's like, fuck, did she fall or something? Like, trip on her own fucking feet and like hurt herself or something. And I get back there and like, you're talking to him. I'm trying to talk to him. I can't hear a fucking thing.
I couldn't hear anything he was saying.
I pulled my earplugs out and still couldn't like fucking hear what was going on. And then eventually you finally like put two and two together. Like, holy shit, he's listening to the podcast or something like that.
He's seen Metal Vice. Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, hey. But then he asked me a couple other questions and I was like, fuck, I can't. I wish I could hear you. I wish I could talk.
And I don't know if it was like Skinless, like Skinless was loud. Or like if he was just talking quieter. I just don't really know. But I was the same way where I'm like, oh, I wish we could like talk to you for a second. But you know, like I did like mouth, thank you, you know, like sort of thing.
Yeah.
But so if you're listening, hi.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really, really cool. But like we talked about this, I think during this episode, or I'm sure we did earlier, bring it up, but we talked to so many fucking people all weekend. There was a guy on the train up that we ran. He was like in front of us in the line at the train.
Oh, to get on the train, yeah.
And you started talking to him, and then we ran into him like every day almost at the festival and talked to him there. Super cool dude. Went to get like table and got food and sat at a table and next to a guy and started chatting him up, and he like told me about Sun, so I started listening to that on the train home.
Right.
Super fucking cool people all over the place.
Yeah.
Just we're trying to talk to more people when we go to shows in general, and you should. Like, people at these shows are going to be so fucking awesome and just down to earth, like genuine people.
Yeah, and you find new music too. I think that's the biggest thing is like, oh, what do you see and what have you seen, you know, like sort of thing, and you just kind of learn more. I mean, because the only way we really find out about new music is openers. So.
Going to shows or talking to people. So that's fucking awesome. Go just talk to people. They're so fucking cool down to
As long as the band's not playing.
Yes, as long as the band's not playing. Don't fucking
talk to people when the band's playing.
But yeah, anyway, going back to day two, we're going on tangents here. I did like Death Ray Vision quite a bit. I don't remember much about them, but I did.
Were they on the bar stage?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Yes, I remember them. Yes. They were
I don't remember them now, but we did a little tick, so it's like one of those. I need to go back and re-listen to this. I'll re-listen to all of this, but it's like I need to focus on like these guys for sure, amongst a bunch of other people. But Municipal Waste as well. We saw them on the boat last year.
Yeah.
And that show is fucking insanely awesome.
On the boat?
Here at Milwaukee.
Here, yes.
I mean, the boat as well, but here was so fucking awesome too.
I remember telling you like, it was Bleed From Within. I said, never mind. I'll keep that comment for Sunday. But yeah, this was fucking awesome because like in the pit, they like threw out surfboard type things.
Yeah, it was
or like blow up.
It was like a blow up coffin. I think. It's shaped like a coffin, but you could use it as like a surfboard.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Yeah, like
somebody did like crowd surf on one for a little bit.
A lot of people did that actually, but and then people are like grabbing the trash cans and like, but like in a kind way as well.
Well, he was like, "There's trash cans around this entire perimeter. Bring them into the pit."
Yeah.
So nothing happened right away, but then a little bit later, one person you can see just a trash can in the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit.
I guess in a kind way, I mean, like they're not like dumping trash out all over the floor or anything. I mean, like it's just.
Somebody did throw it over themselves and started running in the pit.
Yeah.
Quickly got knocked down and got picked right back up.
Yeah.
But would like throw them towards the band, which would then land on like security. Then they went backstage and pulled out the trash cans from backstage and threw those in the crowd. And like in between songs, hey, Josta paid a lot of money for the security, and I thought they weren't going to be working, but you know what? This is the only security that's going to throw a trash can back at you.
Yeah.
You thought? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You thought they were going to get kicked off stage at one point, because I remember you leaning to me like, I think they're getting done.
Oh no, I just meant from like a time standpoint, not kicked off for like what they were doing from a time standpoint.
I took it as like they've crossed the line and now they're
no. Sorry, yeah. No, it was like I thought, because I saw somebody come out and like talk to them. So and then he did come out and say like, oh, we have 2 more songs or what, or we have time for 2 more songs or whatever.
Okay.
So that was my only thing, is like, trying to stay on time.
I thought it was more of, you guys are done. You can't tear this fucking place apart.
No.
But Josta did kind of say something like that during his set of the first time they played Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Oh, yeah.
They only played for 10 minutes before getting kicked off stage, I'm assuming by the organizers, and then they almost got banned for life, apparently, from the rave.
Oh, really?
That's what he said, yeah.
I thought he meant banned from Milwaukee Metal Fest. But
I think like the rave.
Holy shit, yeah. Too bad there wasn't cell phone coverage from that to see what was going on.
So,
but then he said that we grew up and became a real band.
Right.
Yeah.
Gabby, our tour guide for the festival, or not the festival, the backstage tour, was telling us like, yeah, there's a few bands that will come through. Like I treat them like a mother sort of thing of like, I will fucking hit you with my shoe. Like she's like, there's an old Mexican mother sort of act they do where
like Latina mother of like, I'm gonna slap you with my sandals.
And she's like, I'm a little sassy Latino, so like I do the same thing. Like if you come in here and you fuck up my house, the rave, I won't hesitate to like slap you with my fucking shoe. And then I think it was Steve at the tour was like, yeah, I don't fuck that shit up anymore. I've grown up. I don't do that. And she's like, and bands don't do it now anyway. So they come down here and they play Magic the fucking Gathering. Or D&D.
Yeah. It's their time just to like relax before they have to go on the show.
Exactly. So. Other highlights for me or for you on this day. Ross the Boss was fucking awesome. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I didn't go see Ross the Boss. I stayed sitting.
Yeah.
Because we saw Hatebreed, and then I stayed up there for Testament.
Hatebreed was fun to see because we missed all of their sets on the boat for the most part.
We saw the last one on Friday.
We saw like the first 2 tracks of the last one. We didn't stay for all of it.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
I thought we did.
Because we had the beer tasting tour.
Oh, right.
So we kind of missed all of their sets outside the first couple.
I wanted to see their set that was on the deck, but that's when our tour our excursion got back to late or whatever.
But they announced they're doing a 30th anniversary, and they added 2 more shows, one here in Chicago, one in Green Bay at the Epic Center that we just were at.
Yep.
So
and here in Chicago is at the Concord.
At Concord, right.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll go to one of those shows. That'd be fucking awesome, and see like a proper headlining show.
Yeah.
Hatebreed. Testament was fine. We saw them a bunch last year.
Yeah. I feel so bad being like, yeah. I don't know. Like,
it's not your style also.
It's not my style. And I think the first time I saw Testament on the boat, I was like, oh, yeah, like this is really good. The second time I saw Testament, I'm like, okay, like this is Testament.
That was also the day you were sick, I
was sick.
Yeah.
But even this time seeing Testament, I'm like, okay, it's Testament.
I would also say you were sick this time because it was fucking insanely hot.
It was hot.
And it's more of like, I just don't have the energy.
Yeah.
I was drained by Saturday. By this time at night, I was sitting there next to you like, I'm fucking drained.
Yeah, I remember, like, I knew Sunday was a big day for us, which is also why we did like the whole schedule thing on Sunday. But I don't remember being like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Like we were the prior year.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I do remember being drained and kind of just being like, I'm ready to get to Sunday.
Yep.
Sort of thing. So.
Mr.
Bungle was... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Mr. Bungle was interesting.
I really liked Mr. Bungle, honestly. I either completely forgot or am misremembering, like everything's sort of like melding in my head. But I forgot Scott Ian was playing with Mr. Bungle.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
So seeing him come out on stage, like, holy shit.
Because we first were up in the balcony.
Yep.
For like the first 2 songs, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then we went down on the floor. And I remember, like, in the balcony, I saw him over there because he was on the far right side.
Stage left.
Stage left, yeah. But for the stage, it's the far right side.
From where we were sitting, it was the far right side.
Okay, sure. And then, but I was like, no, that can't be. Like, I just couldn't see. And I was just like, no, that can't be him. And then when we got down on the floor, I was like, I think it is. So I think I texted you like, is that Scott?
Yeah. When he came out and when they were doing sound check and this all the synth and all of the effects that were going on, I was like, I'm gonna like this a lot, and you're not gonna like it at all. And I was thinking during like the setup and whatnot, I was like, I know I just told you that what's his name? I know I just told you that. I was up there thinking like, I know I just told you that Gary Newman is Gene Belcher grown up. I think Mr. Bungle is Gene Belcher grown up from Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers, yeah.
If he finds metal and like if he discovers Slayer, this is who Gene becomes, is Mr. Bungle. If he doesn't and stays in the pop scene, then he becomes Gary Newman.
Okay.
It's just fucking weird and fun, and he's doing like pop covers with death metal covers and thrash metal covers. Like, it's fucking weird. And when he came out and opened to like just this sort of acapella, sort of little mellow, jazzy sort of song, I was like, all right.
I'm done.
I'm into this, but it's weird as fuck for a metal show to have this. I would gladly go see this at a show, but for a headlining metal act, that's fucking weird. But then it got heavy fast.
Yeah, the next song was. But my whole I didn't know anything about Mr. Bungle, but I was just like, holy fuck, this is stupid. Like, I am leaving, like, after the first song. But then, like, the second song happened. I mean, it, like, kicked in right away. But I was just like, if everything was like the first song, I would have been like, no, we're not watching this.
Yeah, and then it kind of slowed down again here in a little. Like, got a couple heavy tracks, or maybe just one. Like, it was just one long one.
One or two. Because we went down, and I think there was, like, 2 tracks, and then...
All right, like always, the camera died, but not quite sure where we're at. All I'm trying to say is Mr. Bungle was weird as fuck. I really enjoyed it. Get soft bits, you get heavy shit. It flowed really well. It felt very progressive metal-y at times and then very death metal-y at times. I fucking loved it. But I did feel like it was weird as a headlining at this show.
Yeah, I would agree there.
I would much prefer to see this at its own show than at a festival. It was sort of my takeaway after seeing it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were there to see it. A lot of people were super excited for Mr. Bungle. But I also felt like it wasn't as packed as it was the night before.
Oh, I don't think so, no. All weekend it kind of
that seemed to be the theme. Like, Friday was the busiest, then Saturday, then Sunday was the fewest, which really disappointing. But I don't know. Everybody does their own thing. Everybody doesn't want to go to everything.
I talked to a lot of people on Sunday that did say that they left before Mr. Bungle. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even then?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You paid for the ticket.
I
Might
know.
as well
that's our whole
check
thing.
it out.
Yeah, that's our whole thing. Is like, why leave? Like.
But again, like, people aren't like us, so you don't have to be whatever. Us. We're gonna check you out to like check it out.
Yeah, at least a few songs. Like we did. Like we probably stayed almost the same as Blind Guardian, like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Thereabout, yeah.
Yeah.
We had
half the set probably.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it for day 2. Then we get on to day 3.
Day 3.
Your day you were most excited for.
I'm so excited for this day. I had a lot more music that I like.
I agree. And as we said with each day, with the attendance feeling like it got less and less, it was also each day was better and better for the music that we enjoy.
Yeah. There
was stuff for us to find it every day, but day 3 was sort of the heavy hitting day. Yeah. And the train dude we were talking to, God, I wish I would have asked his name.
I know. We should have asked his name.
But again, like the guy we were talking to, the Sun guy, who introduced me to Sun, we introduced ourselves to him. I can't remember his fucking name either. I want to say it starts with an S, but I don't know.
I don't remember. We're going to start taking notes of people that we talked to.
I feel bad. I love talking. Like, it was so much fun talking to you. We talked to so many people this time around, more than we ever do.
Yeah, because normally we just go and like kind of just hang out with ourselves or by ourselves, and now we're trying to be more communicative with people. So
day 2, we were sitting in the box waiting for music to start and whatnot, and a guy from the day before, the preview night, he had his package fucked up as well.
Oh, right.
We were sitting there in line talking to him for a bit, and then Saturday, we sit behind them in the booth, and he turns around to me like, "Hey, did you get your package figured out?" I'm like, "Who the fuck are you? How do you know what the hell's going on here?" He's like, we talked already. Like, I was like, fuck, I'm so sorry. I've talked to a lot of people. I've seen a lot of everything's melding together. I'm so fucking cool. They were super awesome. We saw them the next day as well. They were fucking just talk to fucking people. Everybody at these things are fucking awesome people. Anywho, getting back on track to day 3. We've got all the bands up right now, but who did we actually see? 15 bands, one more than the previous 2 days.
But we saw a lot of full sets, I feel like, this day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 full sets.
6 full sets this day too, yeah.
All right, so we started with the first band that went on, American Overdose, Monochromatic Black, Upon Stone, Stabbing, It Dies Today, Bleed From Within, Dead by Wednesday, Atheist, Paleface Swiss, Beyond the Threshold, Lacuna Coil, I Am Morbid, Avatar, In Flames, and fucking Slaughter to Prevail.
It's Beyond Threshold, not Beyond the Threshold.
Oh, just Beyond Threshold?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I fucked that up when I was trying to look for them to throw on the set list as well.
No, I apologize, Beyond Threshold. I took notes wrong.
But I did the same thing, and it took a while. That one we were able to add to the set list, and I might actually add this to Setlist FM and learn how to do that finally. But when they got done, we went up and I took a photo of their set list.
Yeah, we need to do. We have a couple set lists that we should.
And they don't have anything on there, so I'll try to learn how to use set lists properly and add crowdsourced information. But the first band, well, so we get there and we're starting to wander around. We got our bottle of water. All 3 days outside in the beer garden, in the beer garden, there was a plastic-free Milwaukee sort of booth.
Oh, right.
Where they had refillable water out of like the water cooler.
Like out of the Culligan water things. But it's like a pump. It's not like a water cooler, but yeah. And
we talked to them. They had 30 barrels or 30 canisters, whatever the fuck they are. Carboys. They're plastic carboys. 10 per day is how they split it up. Because we noticed that as the days went on.
Yeah, especially Saturday. Like it was gone at like 4 o'clock.
Right, yeah. Because we went out there Friday night and tried to refill our water bottle and it was gone. It's like, oh shit, all right.
Yeah, and then Saturday was like 4 o'clock, but Sunday lasted a little bit longer. But I think Saturday was just so hot that everybody was filling up their water bottle. So.
But they were out there. That was kind of cool. Don't know where I was going with that. Oh, no, that's what it was.
When we were walking around, we
were out there walking around, and then before the first band goes on, we're starting to walk in, and this dude in a red jumpsuit and a mask like walks up to us and hands us this little tiny piece of paper, and he's like, "Hey, if you guys have nothing going on, you should come check us out. We're on the second stage. Come check us out on here on this little piece of paper. There's a barcode for our new single that just came out." I didn't look at this piece of paper at all. I just folded it up and threw it in like that little wallet thing. And in my head, I was saying to myself, of course I'm going to fucking check you out. You're the only fucking band playing right now. Why are you out here doing this? When they did start, there weren't many people in there, unfortunately, which it kind of sucked because they were fucking awesome. I love them a lot.
But I remember that from last year on Sunday that it took a while for people to show up.
And I thought the same thing because we woke up that day and we're like, oh, I'm fucking hurting.
Yeah.
And we watched their set from the balcony.
We did,
because it's like, I'm not standing. Like, we have all day. We need to take it easy and ease into this.
But we only sat for 2 bands all day. Otherwise, we ran around or, up and down the stairs. But I just remember that from last year as well, that by the Sunday, it was a good 2 or 3 bands before people started filling in.
But then it wasn't until like later that night we got back to the hotel, I looked at the flyer they actually gave us. And on it even says, for fans of Mudvayne, Static X, Rob Zombie, and Slipknot.
Totally could see that.
We just saw Mudvayne 2 nights ago.
Yeah, but even with their performance, I could tell that they really took their influence from
all of those bands we love.
Bands, yeah.
I love seeing them live. The Slipknot comparison, easy, the masks, right? Like, sure. But even like the mannerisms and the stage performance, as you were saying, very much like all of those bands. And like, I don't know, it was awesome to see it. I really enjoyed this set.
And they're an industrial new metal band, which, I mean, takes Static X and Slipknot and everything together. So, yeah. I really enjoyed the set, too. Like, as soon as they got done, I'm like, holy fuck, they're good.
Yeah, I want to see them again. I think they'll be in Joliet we have a big trip coming up this summer. It's like right when we get back from
that. So we're not gonna make it.
Yeah, we're probably not making that, unfortunately. But even after their set, one of the members, I don't remember who or what, if it was the singer, guitarist, or bassist, or who it was, took his mask off and gave it to somebody in the crowd, and you were like, "That's gotta fucking smell."
Well, no, at first I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and I'm like, "Ew." That's gross.
Because there was another member who like bent down to pick up a cord or something, and you just saw like a stream of liquid flow out of the mask.
Let's talk about that.
It was hot in that room. That was the second stage. It was cooler than it was the day before, but it's still fucking hot.
Yeah, that room just never cools down. Like, there's no air ventilation in there. So.
Yeah, and they gave a great performance, so of course they're going to be a hot, sweaty mess and whatnot. So, super cool band. I want to see them again for sure.
Monochromatic Black.
Yeah.
I liked them a lot.
I did too.
Yeah.
And this is another one, like, we didn't see the beginning of the set because we were down at that first set and worked our way up. And then we got up there and it was not pretty packed, but there were a lot of people up there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is where everybody is. And I was like, oh, shit, this band is fucking killer too.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, the first 5 or 6 bands all day I had marked as like, holy shit, these are awesome.
Upon Stone was fucking amazing as well. I can't pick out one thing on there. I just remember really, really liking it. Stabbing on the bar stage.
They were fucking awesome.
Fuck. I'm sorry. They should not have been on the bar stage. They should have been on the second stage.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't care where the bands are. Like, every band everywhere they left it all on the fucking stage. It was awesome.
I just think that they could have had a better crowd if they were on the second stage.
Maybe. I don't know. Opinion. Yeah.
I mean, the crowd was awesome, but It Dies Today. Like, immediately I started following them on Spotify because I was like, holy fuck.
I went to Dead by Wednesday. We saw them last year. I really loved them last year. But that's when you were up at Bleed from Within, right?
Yeah.
And
because we saw Bleed from Within on the boat. So after It Dies Today, I went straight to Bleed from Within.
And I stayed down there for Dead by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And again, they fucking killed it as well. And I wanted to stay for all. I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna stay here for this. And it's like, wait, no shit, Bleed. No, I got to go see that. I got to go up there. Fuck. And I got to like the last 2 tracks of Bleed from Within.
I even text you like 2 more. Like,
that's when I was walking. That was when I was walking on. Like,
yeah.
I got that text message then. It's like, you can't hit everything, but I wanted to go to both of these shows for sure.
And now I'll say my boat thing, because with Bleed from Within, when we saw them play on the boat the 2 times, I was having so much seasickness that I couldn't even move my head. Like, I couldn't do anything. And otherwise I just like would feel like I was gonna throw up. So I was like, holy fuck, this is so much more awesome, because I could like actually like move to the or like move around and stuff and not be like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah. Paleface Swiss was another one for me that like, holy shit, I was not expecting this.
Yeah. When the vocalist came out, I did not expect him to be the vocalist. Like, the look of the blonde tips of the hair and the like fishnet shirt thing. I don't know what that thing's called, but I was just like, this is not what I was expecting, because I've only listened to them on Spotify.
I've never listened to them.
I know you haven't, but they're on a Slaughter playlist that I listened to, and it was just like, I've only heard a few songs. I didn't look up the band at all or whatever, and when he came out, I was just like, am I thinking the right band? Sort of thing. And then, but as soon as they started, I was like, holy fuck.
We skipped over Lacuna Coil. I was happy to see them. I wanted to stay for the entire set, but I wasn't in that mindset for that set.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted something heavier.
It's a little bit slow. Yeah. Not slower, more melodic and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't really in the mindset for that. We stayed for a few tracks. I want to see them live. We missed them on the boat, and
we did.
Hopefully they'll come back around, do another tour here soonish.
Yeah. Because we saw them in 2022, but
yeah, with Apocalyptica.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Just wasn't in the mindset for that.
I know.
It was a little disappointing. I was really excited to see them, but I was just like,
I think I was the same way. After like 4 songs, I'm like, okay, we can go.
But I mean, even Avatar was sort of the same way for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't not like their set, but I also didn't super enjoy their set.
Oh. Okay.
It felt weird. The ballroom wasn't as packed as I would have liked it. Like, when we see them, we're always in like insanely packed rooms with them. which just makes it feel different. This time we were like on the outer edge, and you just didn't get the energy from the crowd on that outer edge. Like maybe if we were in the crowd, it was a little bit better. But it's also a super fucking quick, short set as well.
Yeah, it was like 40 minutes, yeah.
I wanted longer. So it was like, all right, whatever.
Okay, I fucking loved it. I fucking had a blast. I
enjoyed it. Like I said, it's
I don't know.
It's not that I didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite Avatar show we've seen by any means.
But you were also very disappointed because there was something that happened between Lacuna Coil and Death to All. I believe that those are the two bands.
I don't know. Yeah, something there happened. Like the whole fucking lineup just got all fucked up somehow.
Yeah.
I came back upstairs.
Well, we went up at 8 o'clock for Avatar, or 7 o'clock for Avatar. And Death to All was playing. No. Was it Lacuna Coil?
Yeah, it was Lacuna Coil, I think.
No, because Death to All played after Lacuna Coil. Okay, so we looked up the time set, and we went up at 7 o'clock for Lacuna Coil, but Death to All was just playing.
They hadn't even finished setting up there and doing their sound check. Like they were just finishing that up because we sat down for another like 5-10 minutes and talked to the guy next to us because he's going to the Concord for a show, and then they started playing.
No, that was when Lacuna Coil started playing. Yeah, so we saw like the last 30 minutes because Death to All got hour sets. And
okay, all right, yeah, Death to All was still playing.
Yeah, they were still playing, and they were supposed to be done, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, why are they still playing when Lacuna Coil is supposed to be going on 5 minutes ago? Right. So then we went and sat and talked to the guy. But so something fucking got all messed up, and I think that put you in a mood for Avatar where you were just mad.
Because, and then that could be it too, right? Because it was unclear from. It happened the night before as well. I went down for Catatonia on the second stage, and I stayed for like not even a whole song, like 30 seconds, and maybe a minute or two of a song, and like the vocals just sounded like shit. And Ross the Boss had the same issue where the vocals came out and the mic just wasn't working. And eventually they fixed it. Like that happens. It's a live set. Like that shit happens, right? Mm-hmm. So I gave it time for Catatonia to like sort of come around, but it kept going and it just didn't sound good. I couldn't hear the vocals. I don't know if it was the way they were singing, if it was the equipment or what. It just sounded fucking off. They also started super fucking late. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then Saturday night, the same thing of like... Sunday night, sorry. Same thing of like, Lacuna Coil was supposed to be on 10 minutes ago, and you're still playing. What the fuck's happening here? And then you get done, now you have to tear down everything, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Like, there's no announcements, there's nothing to like know if anything's going on. If I go downstairs, like, what the fuck's going to happen? So I just assumed the other stages were going to go at time.
Yeah, me too.
And then we're going to miss In Flames as well. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But Johannes did announce, like, we only have a few songs. So we don't want to miss In Flames. So we should have. Maybe we should have. But anyways, so I fucking loved Avatar. Sorry you...
Again, it's not that I didn't like it. It's more of like, it wasn't my favorite show they've done.
Yeah. I understand that. I was just gonna say, like, sorry you didn't enjoy it as much as you normally do.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Like it's a festival, so whatever.
Yeah. So again, back to what you were saying about the set times. We didn't know what was going on with the stages. So you went down for In Flames. Everybody was fucking down there. It was packed, but they hadn't started yet when you got down there. Or they just started.
They hadn't started when I got down there, yeah.
So, but you didn't text me. But I stayed upstairs because I'm like, well, I'm not fucking missing Slaughter to Prevail to see In Flames. Like, which now I'm very disappointed because I would have went down to see In Flames. But anyways, whole thing. So I just stayed upstairs. You went downstairs to see In Flames, and then you came back up for Slaughter. But
I saw a good chunk of the In Flames set, but I also was like, I don't know when Slaughter's going to go on or not, so I'm going to just leave now.
Right.
Because again, the same thing happened the night before with Mr. Bone, because he went on late as well because of like whatever the fuck happened earlier in the evening.
Yeah.
So yeah, not quite sure what the fuck happened, but something happened to like sort of shift everything around, and we were just unclear on, all right, does that mean somebody's going to get cut? Does that mean different stages are going to start at different times as well?
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know.
Well, yeah, when Avatar started playing It Smells Like a Free Show, because that's generally their last song, I was like, fuck, they're going to get cut like 7 minutes to try to get back on time. But then they ended with Hail of the Apocalypse, which makes sense for a festival show to end on that song. But we are used to seeing them as a headliner, so we're used to Smells Like a Freak Show is the last song.
I was excited for In Flames to go down there and check them out because every time we've seen them here in the States, they're always like, I thought this was fucking America. I thought you guys were loud. And Milwaukee Metal Fest was fucking loud all weekend. The crowd was fucking insane. The energy in the crowd was so fucking awesome. So a part of me was wondering if they would say anything along those lines or even bring it up at all. While I was down there, nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
So nothing along those lines of like, get fucking loud, let's hear you.
Yeah.
None of that kind of stuff. But I get why they do it during shows, like, pump up the crowd and whatnot.
Right,
like,
right.
People always do that. Like,
I don't think this crowd needed pumped up.
No, exactly. right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Their set was fun. The little bit I did see. But then we go up to see Slaughter to Prevail, the band that you were most excited for.
As soon as this was announced, I've been excited ever since. I don't even know when it was announced last year.
It was early this year.
But I was just like, oh my God, like Milwaukee Metal Fest has to come. It has to come. Like I was just so excited because we were supposed to see. Slaughter was here and we had the opportunity to see them in 2022. But we were going on a cruise, and at that time we didn't do anything for like 2 weeks before the cruise.
Were you following them back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I started following them in February of 2022.
Okay, so it was like right peak. Like things opening up type thing. We didn't want to get sick before going on the cruise.
Yeah, we earlier that summer we had gotten sick. Didn't want that to happen again, so we just kind of made sure that we didn't do any shows for 2 weeks.
Right, and then lose out on that money and all that shit.
So, and it was 2 days before going on the cruise. So we were like, no, we're not going to go. I was so disappointed. I think even that night I was like, oh, they're here. Like, I want to go see them. But anyways, long story short, got to finally fucking see them. Amazing. I can't wait to see them again. What did you think?
So, yeah, I know you're a big fan of Slaughter to Prevail. I think last time we were in Milwaukee, we were working during the day or something. And I had my music on shuffle while I was working and whatnot, and they came on whatever playlist I'm listening to or something. And I can't remember what song it was, but I was like, okay, this song's actually pretty good.
Baba Yaga?
I can't remember what it was. In any case, so I haven't really listened to their stuff all that much. I know you're a big fan of it and whatnot. So I was sort of using this like I normally do of like, this is my first exposure to them, my first experience with it. Let's go into it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I heard a lot of people all day being like, holy shit, are you ready for tonight? It's going to be a fucking bloodbath in there. It's going to be awesome. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's have that kind of show. But there weren't that many people there.
There wasn't. No, the ballroom was pretty empty for what I was expecting. Even going into it, I was expecting, because I've seen crowds for Slaughter, and I was like, holy fuck, this is gonna be awesome. Like blah blah blah. So, but like, the ballroom just wasn't filled.
Yeah. So I want to see them again in a smaller,
like in
venue,
their show,
at their own show, right? But I enjoyed it. They put on a really good fucking show.
I liked what they played Duhas because you're like, I do fucking know this song. Because I think Alex was like, oh, if you know the song, sing along. And you're like, I do know this song.
Yeah, that was fun. That one cover, that was a lot of blast.
Yeah. No, I was super excited to see them. And it is, like, I have seen videos of them performing, but it is a different experience, like, actually being there, seeing it. Yeah. So.
But all in all, it was a really good performance on stage. It was a good way to cap off the festival for sure, from my perspective.
It was good to have a heavy end. That. I mean, because like if you could flip everything and have Friday be like the heavy day, and then have the power metal be the Sunday, like I think I would have been so disappointed and been like, oh, that sucks. Like it's good to have like the heavy end
build up to the end. Yeah, I could see that for sure. I agree. And that's last year was Lamb of God at this slot, right? Yeah. So same thing, like just super fucking heavy.
But I remember with Lamb of God, like it was packed in there. Because I remember it being packed.
Right.
So that's it was, but all day Sunday, except for the second stage. The second stage was always packed, except for the first band that we talked about. But it's like I always felt like the ballroom was not full ever. Yeah. Like it was the first year.
Yeah. I don't know. We saw a lot of fucking bands. It was awesome. A lot of bands we missed, like Get Gate Creeper.
Oh, right.
We didn't get a chance to see Gatekeeper.
For Beyond Threshold.
Beyond Threshold, right.
Yeah, because we had talked about that because we've seen Gate Creeper now a few times because they were on the boat and we saw them at Milwaukee Metal Fest last year.
Yeah.
So we just decided to stay at Beyond Threshold.
It's the same thing for the Red Chord, right? Like we just saw them. Let's go check out something new. Let's find new, different music that we haven't experienced yet.
Right.
Even though Skinless we did see like 2 years before that, but it's not as fresh.
Yeah.
All in all, super, super fucking fun. I had a blast all weekend. But I do have, not necessarily negatives, but nothing's perfect, and festivals definitely aren't perfect, and there's always room for improvement. So I just wanted to quickly talk to you about what are improvements you could see or that you would like to see from like a Milwaukee Metal Fest sort of perspective.
From this year?
Yeah.
The first thing I would do is sprinkle the set lists around, or not set list, the bands around more, because I really feel like it was definitely set up to have 1 day tickets sold.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a 3 day pass, which could be because last year a lot of people did complain about the price of 3 day passes.
Oh,
so,
okay. I'm not following that on social media. So I have no idea
just
about
like
that.
in the comments or whatever, it's always a complaint. So I think it was more set up to like power metal. I'm gonna go with kind of more mainstream metal and then more heavy metal. I don't know, or like the death metal and stuff. I don't know how to even say like Saturday, because Saturday was kind of all over the place, but
yeah, every day had something for someone.
It did, yeah. But like I guess for like a headline or like the upper on the bill.
Yeah, looking at your top of the bill, that's where you get definitely like the power metal, and then you get. Yeah, I don't know what to call Saturday of like Mr. Bungle, Testament, and Hatebreed at the top of the bill, right?
Yeah.
You get definitely thrash elements with all of them. Yeah, that's more of your thrashy day, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though Mr. Bungle is kind of weird as fuck, there's definitely thrash fucking elements to it.
It's all over the place.
And then Sunday to me is somewhat more radio friendly, or more, I don't want to say like intro, but like
mainstream.
More mainstream, yeah. Like Avatar is definitely becoming more and more mainstream.
Yeah,
They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is a great fucking thing.
Yeah.
You hear their shit on the radio now, which is awesome.
I talked to a guy and he's like, well, I've only heard a couple songs or whatever, like on the radio. And I was like, man, when we found Avatar, they were not playing Avatar on the radio.
In Flames isn't really on the radio, but their music is catchy as shit and can easily be on the radio if people just fucking played it.
Yeah, instead of playing all the...
Slaughter is sort of...
Slaughter's not on the radio.
They're not, but they could fall in that like Pantera sort of range of... There's not much heavy metal on the radio, but you got like Pantera and you never got Lamb of God. Like, why the fuck aren't you getting Lamb of God? I could see Slaughter prevail on the radio before I see Lamb of God on the radio.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't call it radio metal.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying like more mainstream, like more accessible. People who are just getting into metal, these are the bands they're going to get into with, and they're going to learn and grow from here, is what I guess I'm saying.
Okay.
In my mind.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you on that.
At the top of the bill anyway, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll just disagree with, because I think if I wasn't into metal and I heard Slaughter for the first time, I'd be like, fuck that, I'm not listening to that.
Really? Yeah, maybe. All right.
Yeah, because like, especially like if you're coming from like a more poppy thing, or pop type music, or like a country music, like you want lyrics, you want to be able to sing, you want to be able to like understand what
Avatar.
they're saying. Some of Avatar, yes, but definitely not Slaughter. Maybe not even all of In Flames. But I get what you're saying. It is more mainstream. It's more names that are out there more, in my opinion. Yeah. But also a much heavier day than overall heavy day. Yeah,
it was. I enjoyed Sunday the most for sure. Yeah. Other enhancements or changes you'd make, I guess.
Communication. I think we said that even last year, maybe, but especially on Thursday with the pre-party, that was a little frustrating. We had, Saturday morning, like when I ended up getting the badge, or we got the badge thing figured out. I don't know whose badge it was, if it was yours or mine, but we got it all figured out. And then, like after that, like it was more enjoyable or whatever, but it was kind of like, there was just some frustrating parts, I guess, around communication. Like even around the tour, like it almost seemed like even our tour guide, Gabby, didn't even know about it until a few minutes before, like, hey, you need to do this sort of thing. So it was just all over the place, kind of.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the merch, we were supposed to get in an hour early with having VIP to be able to do merch and everything. Some of the stands weren't even open yet. The main merch wasn't open yet most days. I don't know. There's just a little teeny tiny things. I mean, now I'm just nitpicking, but it's just like little teeny tiny things.
No, I agree. The communication and organization, especially around that first day and the packages, is something can definitely be improved. Outside of that, once you get your package and you get in, it's a straightforward process for getting in. But that whole communication and getting the package you bought and knowing where to go and all of that was a bit frustrating. And it did feel like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Yeah. So it just seems like somebody dropped the ball, or just the communication itself wasn't done all that well. So I agree, communication could be a hell of a lot better. And we talked about that too with the set times getting all fucked up, right? Where if you had sort of a MC or something, right. Like some festivals we'll have like an MC and they'll come out in between the acts and say something. If you had something like that, like, don't worry, sets are going to be fine. The new set time for XYZ is going to be here to here. You can still go and check that out. They're still going to get the same time. We're just like, it's a festival. Shit happens. We understand that. Yeah. But just a little bit of communication around that would be nice too. Any other enhancements from you?
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
I think you hit on all that I had. Definitely the communication, the sprinkle, the sets around, especially that first day with all the power metal. That's where I'm like, I would have liked power metal throughout the festival, not all on one day or whatnot. Yeah. And we didn't see all the bands, so maybe there was power metal somewhere in there for a band that we don't know, we've never heard of. Right.
I think that's the other thing is, I mean, granted, you only have so much time, but you touched on it earlier in the episode where you were saying it's hard because, like, for example, on Sunday, I think Beyond Threshold was during the entire set of Gate Creeper. Yeah. So it's like, you can't even, I mean, granted, we could have went and saw Gate Creeper for like 5 minutes and left and then came back or whatever, but it's hard. But it's probably because they fucking hate us, so.
That's what Riot Fest says. I love when Riot Fest says that. Yeah,
like, oh, we're going to put your two favorite bands at the same exact time.
Because we hate you.
Yes.
I love that.
No, and I mean, I don't know how setting up a festival is, but I know it has to be really hard to get the times where, like, it works for the bands too, because there were some bands that were like, hey, we have to leave right after this, because I'm sure that they have other bookings or they have travel time.
There was a band who's like, we have got a show tomorrow, we need to leave, we're going to be down there for 10 minutes afterwards, buy our merch, but other than that, we're fucking out of here. Yeah. But the only other enhancement I would like to see make, and it's not just the rave, it's not just Milwaukee Metal Fest, it's like, we've touched on this before, it's all fucking events everywhere should have access to free refillable water stations. They had the Plastic Free Milwaukee, which was giving out free water to fill up your water bottles. That was great, but it ran out throughout the day. It's a positive. It's a rave. It's an indoor venue. So we would just take our water bottle to the bathroom and just fill it up with tap water. Yeah. But they had like a Coors Light truck just sitting there with tap handles on it. Hook a fucking like hose up to that, and that's all I need. Like free like water, refillable water stations should be free at all fucking concerts, music venues, music events, sports stadiums. Like free refillable water should be a thing, I think. So that's just one thing I would like to see change. Bring in a water refill station outside in the beer garden.
And I think they were probably trying to do that with the Milwaukee Free Plastic or Free Milwaukee of Plastic or whatever the thing was, but I don't think that they allotted enough water for it. Yeah. So maybe they learned, and next year if they do it, I mean.
Well, I don't know who sponsored that as well. Like all we talked to is one person who said they gave us 30. Right. I don't know who they is, if it's the rave or if it's the Plastic Free Milwaukee organization.
Oh, right. But what I'm saying is, like, it went over well. So hopefully they learn from that and say, like, hey, we need 30 a day, not 30 for the weekend sort of thing. So.
Yep. But again, that's not just the rave. It's like every place you go. Like, water should be free. You're going to lose out by not selling $5 waters, but oh well, you should lose out on that, I guess. Yeah. I think, personally.
I mean, they had free water, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, until it ran out.
Yeah, which I'm saying, like, maybe they'll.
Yeah. But again, just an enhancement I'd like to see. Yeah. In any case, this was a fucking blast. We bought tickets knowing who the headliners were, not who all the acts were. I think when they announced this.
Okay, yeah. I can't remember when they announced the lineup versus when we bought tickets.
But this was like Chicago open air for me, where it's like, they announce it, we're gonna go, and I think that's a good segue into like our festival rankings. Where does this rank up for you? For me, last year I had this as my third. At the end of the year, I had as my third top festival behind Headbangers Ball at number 2 and Chicago Open Air at number 1, at least 16 and 17. I personally think this is still up there at number 3.
Yeah, I think mine's exactly the same, and I would keep it right there.
It's more of the same, and that's the reason.
I have it at 2.
Above the boat. Interesting.
I don't know why. Probably because I got sick on the boat.
Probably. We'll see how that goes this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing with Open Air 2016 and 2017. That it was the first year, and then the second year, which is basically the exact same as the first year. This was with just small little tweaks. This was done the exact same way. The exact same as last year. Small little tweaks. I hope they keep doing it at the Rave. It's an awesome venue to do this at. May, if you're going to do it at the Rave, May's like the latest early you can do.
Yeah, because it gets really fucking hot.
It can get really hot. Yeah, you're not doing this in fucking July.
We'll probably not be at the Rave between now and September.
Sometime in September. Maybe.
October, November. I don't know.
And this is a crazy big band that we want to see, but probably not.
We learned our lesson, I think, with Gojira. Was it Gojira?
It was Volbeat.
Volbeat, and it was so fucking hot. Yep. Oh my god! I cut my pizza plate as a fan because I was like, I can't do this. Yep.
All in all, this was a fucking amazing festival. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they brought it back last year and kept it going, because we didn't even know it was a thing until we read the article that it was a big thing back in the 80s, and even a bunch of bands were bringing that up this year, which was really cool.
Yeah,
I want to know more about the history of this festival now that I think about it.
That'd be fun.
In any case, it was live music. Live music is fucking awesome. Go check it out.
Bye.